Ladies, we are back.
We are back.
Back in action, ladies. Woo!
Guess who's back? Back again. Queen Car's back. Tell a friend. Guess who's back? Yeah, all right. So Eminem won't be calling me anytime soon.
Yeah, no. This is a hit the spotlight that has been requested so many times.
Oh my God. Has it been? I mean, not just requested, begged for. They've been on their knees begging for this one.
But you know we love a good begging.
So who have we got on the Hit the Spotlight episode
This
tonight?
time on Hit the Spotlight, we have Peaches.
Millions of peaches, peaches for me. Millions of peaches.
Yes, we do.
Millions of peaches.
God, I'm so excited about this one.
Oh my God.
Peaches.
So we have Peaches on the show today. Really excited to talk about his starting out in the porn industry, because I think this is the first time that we've had anybody from the porn industry, and it's going to be so interesting to talk to somebody from a male perspective, but for women. Like, how does it impact? What does it do? I've got so many questions.
Yeah,
Me
like
too.
visual porn, which he is still very active in, doing more stuff, audio and his Patreon and stuff. But yeah, he's been hanging out in the waiting room very patiently,
Yes.
having his coffee. So I guess it's maybe time to bring on the peaches.
Peaches, 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 peaches.
Before starting work in the adult industry, Peaches was an English teacher, and his educational background is in creative writing. In a nutshell, he loves cats, Star Wars, and writing and recording audio smut. Peaches utilizes his social media platforms such as Instagram, TikTok, and Patreon to provide audios and videos for his listeners that include everything from spicy to safe from work. Welcome aboard, Peaches.
Welcome, Peaches.
Welcome to Quincast, Peaches. How are you?
That was absolutely lovely. What an introduction. I'm very well, apart from the hay fever, but we won't go into that.
Oh no, I think the listeners may want to hear that you had an injection in your bum before you came
Oh
on.
well, yeah, maybe I should write something about it. I don't know. It was a lot quicker than probably people would want an audio to be. In and out, so to speak.
Oh, nice. Love it.
So before we delve into our conversation with you, we're going to play a little game, if that's okay. Now, I get it wrong every single recording where I ask for your consent before I've told you what the game is. So it seems a bit of a trick. So I'm actually going to get it right this time, Kaza.
Good job.
And I'm going to tell you what the game is. So the game is called Dirty or Deserty. Based on the fact you're called Peaches, and my brain initially went to Peaches and Cream. So we are going to provide you with, it is very fitting. Yeah. Careful. We're going to provide you with 8 phrases or names of things, and they are either dirty or, surprisingly, a dessert-y. So, and you just answer dirty or deserty. So, now I've done what I should do every time. Do we have your consent, Peaches?
Absolutely. It sounds like a laugh.
Oh, here we go.
Well
we
done,
shall see about that.
Smudge.
Yay, I know. I feel like I've all grown up.
I'm so proud of you. So proud.
I'm such a good girl.
You're such a good girl. Okay, number 1. Dirty or deserty? Spotted dick.
I mean, growing up in Britain, it's deserty. I know, it was like a playground thing, oh, we've got a spotted dick, but, it's definitely a dessert to me, which I really don't like, actually.
So it really should be dirty, not deserty, but it's deserty.
It is a dirty dessert. Oh, well done. Yes, Peaches and me agree. It's a dirty desserty. Okay.
All right.
Number 2.
Number 2. Naked moose.
Never heard of a naked moose, so that sounds naughty and dirty to me.
Ding, ding,
Ding,
ding.
ding, ding.
It is dirty, and it is the title of an erotic novel.
Okay. A pastry chef getting naughty in the kitchens or something, is it?
Uh-huh. Okay.
That's got an audio written. That's got a Peaches audio written all over it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, number
Yeah,
3. Here we go. Lovers drool.
Lovers drool. Yeah, that sounds dirty to me. Lovers.
It
I
is.
did,
You're getting
yeah.
these right. It is an erotic term, and it is you. I mean, it
Lovers
just says it
drool?
already, doesn't it? It's when you drool over your lover.
Not like a drawl.
No, a drool.
Right.
I mean, you're
Drool.
British,
Okay.
Peaches. The Americans can understand me.
Not always.
Sometimes.
I thought it was like the like the southern drawl, that kind of thing. But
Oh,
like
yes.
drool. Okay, I got you now. I would have said dirty either way, to be honest, I think.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Okay. Number 4. Thigh butter.
I don't. I'm probably going to say it's a dessert because I want it to be a dessert.
Oh, you'll have to invent it because it's dirty.
Oh, come on.
But oh my God, do tell us the recipe for thigh butter, Peaches.
Yes, please.
How would you make it?
I think it's got to be some kind of like buttery frosting, but you can only eat it off of thighs. I think that makes complete sense, right?
Right. Yeah.
I think that's what it should say on the label.
There might be some special juices in it, perhaps.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm sorry. I took the recipe and ran with it for
Yeah,
myself.
you did.
Sorry. Okay.
Well, on that note, ladies and gents, all right. So the next one is nudes balls.
Nudes ball.
Yep, nudes,
Nudes
balls.
Balls.
Yes.
Dirty.
Oh, no, you started off really well. Now you're getting really shit. That was wrong.
Go ahead, Jules.
So yes, it is actually a Korean dessert called nudes balls.
Oh, okay. What's that? What does that taste like?
What's that, Smudge?
What is it, Smudge?
So nudes balls. I'm just going to sort of elongate that out because I actually didn't write that down, and they called me out because of that reason. And
You could
nudes
be making
balls,
shit up.
Korean. That actually took me to Pornhub, so that's incorrect.
Half
It's
a
all right.
point on that. Come on. I mean, if it's taking you
I
there, it's got to
mean-
be dirty as well.
Yeah, I think you deserve half a point for that.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, because she. Yeah. I
Do you
think
agree,
she's just
Kaza?
Yeah, she's making shit
right.
up.
Yeah, I am.
Smudge, you
I'm
make
not
it.
making shit up. I can't. Google makes the shit up, not Smudge. So here we go. Next one. Here we go. I'm going to do this in my best accent. Cucina. Cucina.
It's such an
Where
asshole.
have I heard that before? Cucina. Well, maybe I'm thinking of Coachella.
Oh.
I'm going to go with my opposite instincts here, and I'm going to say it's a dessert.
Ding
Ding,
ding.
ding, ding.
Dear boy. Yes, it is a dessert. It's a Brazilian snack. And it's
What's
like
in it, Smudge?
it's a sweet. I know this one. It's a sweet. It's a hard boiled
Ooh.
sweet.
As soon as you put boiled in, you ruin everything.
Sorry,
Yeah.
it's a hard sweet. Yes, called cucina. And I can't do a Brazilian accent. So how's a Brazilian accent? Cucina. No, that's Italian. So
Oh my gosh.
I can't do
ask me,
accents.
I'm
I don't do
sorry.
accents. I don't do accents. So
All right, so
Bless.
dirty it is. Okay, we're almost done. I apologize.
No, I'm enjoying this, guys.
Okay, good. Number 7. Sticky lick.
Sticky lick.
Desserty
Sticky
or
lick.
dirty?
I'm going to say dirty to that one. Isn't it?
Ding,
Oh,
ding, ding.
great, okay.
Got it.
Uh-huh.
sticky
I know.
licky. Sticky lick. Sticky
Sticky
Vicky.
lick.
Wasn't there a Sticky Vicky was right, I'm gonna
The
say this.
Benidorm.
Benidorm. Thank you, Peaches. I'm so glad you're here because the Americans with us would have had absolutely fucking no idea what that is.
Yeah,
Oh, I
Sticky
tell you what,
Vicky.
yeah, so have you heard of White Lotus, the TV series?
Yeah.
Love that series.
Okay, so imagine that, but set in in this Costa del Sol, quite run down Spanish city where everyone who's kind of like they just want to be in Croydon, but in the sun. And it's just it's all about that instead of like fancy hotels like the White Lotus.
Ah, okay.
And there's
I
a
like
there's
that
a.
now.
Do you want to explain to them who Sticky Vicky is, Peaches?
Oh, please.
Sticky Vicky is an adult performer in nightclubs who notoriously was able to fit various things inside of herself and produce them on stage.
Including a very famous baseball bat.
Oh.
So
What's famous
yeah.
about the baseball bat?
She got it all in.
Oh, Jesus, right, okay. Ooh.
Yeah, it is. And I think she shoots things out of her vajayjay too.
Oh,
No
So hold on.
way.
So off stage, she inserts these things, and then on stage takes them out. Is that the deal?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's
I'm
certain.
assuming. Otherwise, I guess she just like lives with stuff. No, I don't think that's possible.
But she doesn't insert them on stage. They're already in there.
No, it's all
Wow.
very gimmicky and
Yeah.
fun.
Anyway,
And I do apologise
Yeah.
to any of our clitisans who are called Vicky right now, because I'm so sorry that you are now only ever going to be called Sticky.
all right, our next and last, dirty or deserty? Mega pussy.
Mega pussy.
Hold on, let me say it again. Mega pussy is how I would say.
Mega pussy. Okay, that it's bringing back like memories of watching that documentary of Heard versus Depp when he says mega pint.
Oh, I love that.
Mega pussy.
I love this word.
I'm gonna say dessert because I think it's going to be a weird thing.
Ding, ding, ding.
You got it. Yes,
Um,
it is a real pastry from Finland, actually.
It's
Oh, is it
desserty.
something to do with fish?
Rude.
That
but
would
no.
be funny.
Okay.
No. It's a desserty fish.
And you get an extra point, for that, Peaches. So,
Absolutely.
hands down.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Well, I won't live that one down. But it did make sense in my head with the poos, the like. Yeah.
Of course. It makes sense to us now. Oh my God, that's funny.
That was awesome.
Well, in case you're interested, she found a couple other fun ones. I'll give them to you as desserty. So there's a chocolate salami, mango temptation, a Caribbean style
Ooh.
dish.
That sounds
Is
nice.
that
Thank you for the fish comment. That's brilliant. And I'm still giggling about it.
Although I'm such a like sensory person that like now all I smell is fish, and it's not me.
Oh.
Relax. But thank you for that.
Close your
Thanks
legs.
for that, Peaches. Such a douche. Oh, look at that. You're such a douche. How perfect. Peaches is like, I'm so glad I agreed to this podcast.
It's a professional get-up.
It is, I
Oh, I
swear.
love it.
Right, shall we get and dive into our little chat? So we just want to get to know you a little bit better, Peaches, to start off with, because we know you and we've spoken to a lot of people who also have been following you for some time and know you.
Dear Lord. People.
And so sort of want to find out how you started in any type of sex erotic industry. How did it happen?
Blimey. We're going back to 2020. COVID hit. I was an English teacher. I mean, what a few people don't know about like teachers at the time in Britain, when it came to marking exams, the exam boards shut down, so we had to do it all. And I think I had about 11 classes of students, and so it was over 200 or 300 papers or something, which ramped up my, I didn't have any free time, and I just drove myself to the brink, and no support as a teacher with a private college either. So I just said, this is enough. At the time, I was also in a relationship that was kind of going downhill, and I'd lost a lot of my confidence. I don't know, I felt like I had no sex appeal, and I felt quite repressed. that relationship broke down. And then by, I think it was December of 2020, I had just completely changed as a person, completely, and realized that I wanted to do something else. And at the time, a big thing for me was just exploring my sexuality. And so I started on things like Reddit. Someone told me about OnlyFans, and I said, I'll start one of them. And so I went full time January 2021, and I didn't look back at all.
Wow.
I knew after the first week of being off that I didn't want to go back. And that was it. I just kind of made the decision. I knew I couldn't be a teacher there anymore. I knew that it wouldn't change if I went to another college. And I just thought, this is kind of giving me a bit of a sign to try something else, really, and something that I love doing. And the only other thing I could think of was writing. And I thought, I'm not going to be able to make money from that straight away. So let's find something else that I'm passionate about. And I was passionate about sex and gender and everything in that area. So I just went for it. It was bloody terrifying.
Is that historically kind of how you operate? Like in the past, are you someone who like have an idea and you jump?
It was the first time I'd made such a big decision without someone, because I kind of had relied and built an identity around former partners, and this was just something that I needed to decide for myself. So I moved in with a friend for a couple of months, and then I moved back to Wales, which is where I live, and moved into my own place for the first time ever, and thought, this is kind of a new start. Let's just put everything into it. And despite months and months of being horribly depressed, trying to find out who I actually was, it was the best decision I could have made.
Wow.
What was the first thing that you put out there?
Yeah.
I dread to think. I can't.
And can we find it?
It used to be Twitter and Reddit. They were the things that I used to use most. And back in the good old days of Twitter, I tell you. But that original account is gone because I had a weird moment where I just didn't want to have Twitter anymore. Big mistake. And then I got X when it came out. The first things I used to do, I used to blur all of my tattoos and cover my mouth with a COVID mask because I was anonymous until probably March 2021, I think.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, and I kind of realized after that point at which I really do not give a shit if people know who I am in terms of seeing me. I get people from my past, from friendship groups popping up and saying, "Oh my God, it's you." But it doesn't bother me anymore because this is what I'm in for the long haul. So
yeah. So we're not going to let you dodge the question. So what was the first piece of content you put out?
Sorry. Right. I mean, I produced a lot of content. I mean, it's mostly just mirror selfies and stuff.
Yep.
I did do a Kylo Ren cosplay.
Did you?
How did I miss this?
It's old. It's buried in the archives. I'm not getting that out for anyone. But it was like a really awful rubber helmet, and I was just shirtless, and I was wearing these black compression leggings, and I had oh God, I forgot. Oh no. Okay.
Loving this so much.
So I used to have this comically large big dildo that I used to call Big Rick. It was literally about that big, and I used that as a lightsaber instead. And
that's fantastic.
Genius. That's genius.
Please tell me you did the sound effects.
I did. They were all photos. I didn't dare do that. No.
Oh, God.
Did you want to do it now?
I mean, possibly. I mean, I've got the Mandalorian helmet. I've got the First Order Stormtrooper helmet. I think there's a Kylo Ren one in that series, so possibly.
I did see the Mandalorian helmet the other day. Yes. That you posted.
Well, I could do something with that. Yeah.
You could. Sticky Vicky could do something with that.
Yeah, she could do more than me in that vein.
Sticky Vicky and Big Rick. There's a lot going on.
It's like a match made in heaven. So, were you always Peaches?
It started as Mackinac Peaches, which
Ah,
I thought of while I was setting up my OnlyFans on my laptop while watching Seinfeld. There was this episode of Seinfeld where Kramer is obsessed with these really delicious peaches, which are only ripe for 2 weeks of the year.
Well, they're in! What's in? The Mackinac Peaches, Jerry! The Mackinac Peaches!
So I just called myself Mackinac Peaches, and then it went to Mackie Peaches, which is still on some of my sites, and now just Peaches. But also Gucci Pie, which is kind of like a username gone wrong that I used to have at college. Like one of my teachers got my name completely wrong, and it was just Gucci Pie at nameofknowledge.com. It was
oh,
I just used that because it used to make me laugh. So it's nothing to do with anything really.
I love that. So,
Yeah.
like, Peaches, what was your exposure to porn growing up? Like, how did that kind of shape your early ideas about sex and gender?
My it was very straight kind of stuff that I was exposed to, mainly because of my friendship group. Like we had largely, we weren't really a very kind of I had quite a small not sexual friendship group. None of us were really sexual. We didn't really talk about it much and stuff. I remember this one point when me and my friend were on LimeWire just downloading music, and then you just get a bonus bit of porn come up as well. And we're like, oh, okay, what's this? And then it was just like suddenly someone squirting. And we're like, oh, Jesus Christ. And, you know, we were quite young at the time, so it was a bit shocking. But otherwise, I mean, just I was quite repressed when I was younger, so I didn't really watch an awful lot. It was mostly, I mean, I used to get kind of excited by the smallest things, and then because I didn't have anyone to tell me that it was okay, I used to just kind of try and push it down and think, oh, you know, sex and porn are dirty, which obviously they aren't.
Right.
But because, you know, we were told not to watch porn and not to do this and not to do that, then that's kind of a natural way of things going, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think the word porn, which is why, just so the Clitterton's room know what we were talking about, we asked you before we started recording if you were happy with using the word porn, because I think it does have a bit of a negative connotation, whether you're male or female, to be honest. I think
Absolutely.
it's you know, it's not the most positive of words.
Yeah, and also the fact that on certain social media platforms you can't say it. You know, so like if you're on TikTok, you can't even say porn. You have to say corn or put the corn emoji. So it automatically puts that shame right in front of it, I feel like, with that.
Oh, absolutely. And it's the same with the word sex. Can't really use that. You have to spell eggs with an S in front of it, you know, like
So stupid.
Schmecks and
Yeah.
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 I mean, I was raised in an era where it was magazines. So at school, the boys had the magazines, you know, they stole from their dads. And, you know, and you'd walk home from school and there'd be ripped pages of it just like strewn across the paths, like, you know, Hansel and Gretel gingerbread style. And you'd follow it and there'd be a group of young lads sitting behind a tree or behind a wall.
Wanking in the woods.
Yeah, all playing like Cummy Biscuit or something like as equally as...
I'm sorry, Smudge, what?
Cummy biscuits? Please
Cummy
do.
biscuit, yeah.
Let's hear it, Peaches.
Never played it myself, but basically the idea is however many friends you have, you all masturbate with a biscuit in the middle, and the last one to come on the biscuit has to eat it.
Oh, it makes us so proud to be British, Peaches, right?
Sounds like a circle jerk with extra steps, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, circle jerk with a bit of a snack at the end. That's all.
Yeah.
All right.
So for the complete opposite end of what it is as you grow up, the quicker you come, the better off you are.
I'm gonna need a minute. What the?
Well, these were young teenage boys. They only needed about 30 seconds. So, but anyway, what we were talking about was how porn can be quite a negative word in today's society. While Kazza and Jules get over the Cummy Biscuit.
It's like I have a movie
concept.
in my head now. You guys don't understand. Like it's like I gotta let the movie finish. That's so. What happens if you didn't eat the biscuit? Like, would you get beat up? Would you get ridiculed? Like, what if you
I
did that?
mean, I having never played the game, I can imagine.
Mhm.
You can either, you get beat or bushed, or you get your tie, knotted. Peanut, that's what you call it. Peanut the tie.
Yeah.
Um,
In at the
yeah,
time.
just general scolding. To be honest, I'd rather have a scolding than eat a cummy biscuit with some of my mates.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, coming to all supermarkets near
Cummy
you, the cummy
biscuits.
biscuit.
Dear Lord.
As long
Okay.
as all of you have some pineapple beforehand, then maybe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
Oh Lord. Okay, let's move on because the movie is completed in my brain now.
yes. So you grew up in a more repressed world, apart from the kids and the friends that you hung around with. So which is what we're all the same, male or female. I think we learn most of it from our friends. So when were you open about your sexual wants, needs, desires, sexuality?
Very late, to be honest. I say that I'm sure I had some kind of sexual awakening, my early 20s, maybe my late teens, but the one that kind of is more glaringly obvious is 30 when I started doing OnlyFans because, let's say 2019, I was under the assumption that I was straight. And at the time as well, I kind of just thought that there was only kind of one person for me. And then it went into kind of my 30 to like last year ish. I all of my sexuality just kind of came pouring out, and I realized I didn't know. I was like, am I bisexual? Am I demi? Am I pan? And I kind of settled on pansexuals, but it's ever changing in my mind, I think.
Yeah.
Which is wonderful. In a way, I think some of the crisis I had was trying to decide which one I am, and then after a while, I realized, wait a minute, it doesn't really matter. Like if as long as I feel like I'm a part of a community, if I need to be, as long as
Mhm.
people accept me for it, then that's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, I kind of stepped into this like polyamorous kind of world for a little while and played around in that as well, and then just came back out of it as well. These things you can kind of flow between and then find out what you really want. But it takes a while. So if anyone's having, a crisis at the moment and you're worried
Mhm.
that you're not doing it quick enough or whatever, just don't listen to anyone else. Just take your time.
And just play in all the sandboxes. Like it's just
Safely.
safely, yes, please, safely. Um, it is that challenge of like, don't try to fit in boxes. I joke with these guys that back in the day when I came out to my mother, I remember saying to her, I struggled to come out because I didn't fit any label. But there were only a couple labels, so I just said, well, I kind of think I might be gay. Like that's literally how I came out to her, and it didn't fit because I was like, I don't. That word doesn't fit. Lesbian didn't fit. Um, but those were the labels at the time. It was like I just don't fit in the box, and
Yeah,
so
I mean, with that in mind, it is actually, I know that there are sometimes, like, in a way, too many labels, but then
yeah,
it's also a wonderful way of you to kind of to research it in that way. Because
yeah.
if you don't know something, then it's out there on the internet, your friends know about it as well, and you can find out that way instead of just sitting in the dark thinking, if I mean, when I was growing up, it was lesbian, gay, straight, and that was it.
Hmm.
And then bisexual came around later on, and I was like, oh, okay, and that was it
Yeah,
at the time,
yeah.
you know. But now, again, you said the world is your oyster.
I had a student once who I cannot was demi, and I didn't at that time. I had no idea what that meant, and so I ended up giving the student an assignment to choose from about like culture or something, and they ended up choosing to educate me on all the different types of pride flags and things I didn't understand. So I was able to look at these Gen Zers and look at them from a completely different perspective I never had before and be educated about labels and things I had no idea about that I had, like we said, been kept in the dark about. And it was just such an amazing, eye-opening experience for everything.
I
Hmm.
wish someone would have helped me out with that when I was a teacher. That would have been lovely.
Right.
Yeah. Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
To be honest, I think just hearing Peaches and you, Jules, saying about that, and you, Kazza, as well, I wish that kink had the same openness and acceptance within the world as a lot of the, flags do. Because whilst I know it's not perfect and there's a ridiculously fucking long way to go, all right, for acceptance across all sexualities, all right, whatever, genders, whatever. I have never felt prejudice like it when I tell or try to be open about what kinks I like and what things I like and desire sexually. There's such a stigma with, a lot of that. So the representation of the word porn and kink, etc. I just think there's such a way to go to make those words just acceptable in the English language or the American language, in the world's language. Because I would love to be able to walk into a room the same as, well, I'd love to have been able to come out to my mum like other people come out to their parents about their sexuality, and I would love to have come out to my mum and been able to come out to my mum about my kinks.
Just walk into
and
the
my
room with a
desires
ball
in the
gag,
same
and you'll be
way.
like, oh, I see what you like. Smudgy,
Oh,
honey,
yeah.
you have something in your mouth.
Oh, sorry, did I leave that in
Sorry, I
there?
didn't realize I left it in from my last session. Yeah, no, I get you. I hear you, Smudge, though, yeah.
No, it's understandable. I mean, when I accidentally came out to my mum,
Accidentally.
because
Definitely.
yeah, I mean my sister already knew, and I had been quite open about my sexuality on socials for a while, and I was just in the car with my mum, and she was driving us somewhere, I can't remember where, and I mentioned about like, oh God, yeah, why I suddenly just started telling people I'm pansexual because why not? And then she just kind of like looked at me and almost like swerved a bit in the car, and I was like, and like she was totally fine with it, but I went, I haven't told you that yet, have I? And so it was probably one of the most blunt times anyone's ever come out to their parents, but it was a complete accident.
Did she know what pansexual was?
No, I had to explain it to her.
So you did like pictures that you went onto Reddit and Twitter as was. So when was your first your moving picture? When was your first moving picture?
I went into it pretty fast. I think I got my mojo back because like one of the main reasons I actually started and OF was because I had quite severe body dysmorphia. I hated my body, and after a few months of people being quite positive and supportive, I thought, why not? And then I started doing. It was probably like the old, fuck boys on Snapchat kind of filming from terrible angles kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I was doing like close-up videos of, the downstairs, and I don't know why I'm saying it. Like I'm talking to someone who, I don't know. Yeah. So I would make like close-up masturbation stuff. It was like looking back, I actually looked at an old one recently, and it was kind of artistic. Like it was because it was so close up, and then I like slowed parts of it down, like the cum shot slowed down, and it looked quite nice. The camera quality is awful, but I might try and maybe recreate something like that and show them side by side or something.
Get it in 4K.
Yeah,
Okay,
do it in
right.
4K. 4K cum shot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Approved.
So that was on your own. When was your first with somebody else?
That I did have a collaboration with a friend of mine who, well, not he's an ex-friend because he turned out to be a very predatory guy. Did some very bad things with some of his friends, and yeah, won't even give him the name on here because it's not, he doesn't deserve it. But
yeah.
So I don't class that one as my first collaboration anymore. But actually, my first collaboration that time was getting pegged, which was my first time getting pegged as well. So it's pretty extreme for me. Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
But yeah, that content is no longer available anyway because the person I did it with isn't making that content anymore. So, don't have the rights to it, which is fine. But my first...
It's fine. I'm just going to picture it being Pedro Pascal anyway, so it's all good.
I wish.
Who doesn't?
But daddy is a state of mind, you know what I'm saying? I'm your daddy.
But my first official one was actually, I mean, probably still extreme for some people, was actually a bisexual threesome. with my friends Mr. and Kitty, who are part of BIMF couple. Yeah, we did a great scene, DP, double penetration, and then I finished by getting my first ever facial, which was great fun.
Good, and good for the skin too.
Fantastic for the skin. I know. I was like, oh, this is quite warm. That's nice. But I didn't say that on camera.
How do you ensure, because it's such an intimate thing, you know, how do you ensure that your co-stars are feeling safe, and yourself included, that you're all feeling safe on set when you are creating these scenes?
So what people don't see with the videos, we have a lot of communication back and forth. So I always give people my little, thing of boundaries, what I do, what I don't do. And then I ask them theirs, and we go back and forth. We discuss the scene. We say, like, what we're going to do in this scene, how many scenes we're going to do, what kind of promo. So we plan out everything to the best of our ability. We almost plan too much so that on the day we don't run out of things to do. And then, so we fill that time, because largely we film in hotels and Airbnbs and stuff. And yeah, you just have to try and cram it in as much as you can, because you don't actually have that much time when you think about it. You check in at 3 o'clock and then you're tired by 9 or 10 p.m, go to sleep, wake up, gotta go.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Wow.
it's
Yeah. Bloody premiere in checkout times too early they are.
too early, way too early.
Yeah, I watched on your YouTube channel. I watched the video. It was a Boundary Talk video with Kayla Wilde, and it was really great to see just how clear and communicative you both were, to just, before the scene, to be very clear on everything from, like you mentioned that you're ticklish, and so if you flinched, that, you weren't uncomfortable, you were just ticklish, or you're very ticklish.
So much, yeah. I mean, I can tickle myself. That's how ticklish
my
I
God.
am.
That's ticklish.
Yeah, like, so this part of my stomach here, like, if I touch it bare skin, if I touch it lightly, it'll make me crease up. Bottom of the feet, obviously.
I was just about to ask, like, can you ever get a pedicure?
No way. Do you know the main reason I don't like people touching my feet is because I'm a kicker. So I don't want to, like, accidentally hurt them by kicking them.
So you're super ticklish. Do you, well, other than the feet, do you enjoy being tickled, or
Absolutely hate it. Honestly, it completely changes. It changes my mood. I just suddenly turn into, nope, not taking that.
Yeah, so that's a hard boundary, like no tickling. Yeah,
I think everyone's got something that does that, don't they?
I think so.
That just completely changes the mood.
Yeah, I fucking hate to be tickled. Same thing. Like,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
like, do not tickle. No.
I hate that thing where I'm mid-yawn and somebody puts a finger in my mouth. What the fuck?
I do that to my wife all the time. It drives her crazy.
Like, do you know, I literally want to, that and people walking with trolleys and they just stop in the middle of an aisle without warning. But that where they, for a body thing, if I'm yawning and somebody puts their finger in my mouth or touches my mouth in any way, oh my God, stopping me mid-yawn, it brings an anger out of me that I didn't realise existed.
Yeah, I get it.
And I'm going to punch you in the fanny if that happens. So I'm just pre-warning
That means
you.
something different over here, Smudge.
Fanny
Remember?
punch.
Maybe I like it. You can punch me in whatever version of Fanny. It's fine.
So Peaches, were you more nervous or excited the first time that you performed with other people? How does it work? What do you performers droop, or were you worried?
I mean, there was a little bit of droopage, yeah. I was incredibly nervous. We're friends, we'd met before at an event that I used to go to that I no longer do. But even when you know each other well, and even though you know that everything's going to be fine, you've discussed everything, I think it's this performance issue that a lot of people struggle with quite a lot. I don't really have it as much now, but like, it's kind of like that Flight of Conchord song, like, conditions are perfect. It does have to be like, you have to be ready to do certain things, like if I'm planning a scene where I'm going to be pegged, for example, I need to, I can't just, someone can't just come up to me on the day and say, hey, do you want to do a pegging scene? Because I'm just not going to be ready, psychologically, more than anything. So yeah, there's a lot of preparation, especially in your mind. when it comes to just working with someone one-on-one, it's not as bad, I don't think. I think because that's how I generally prefer to work, like that kind of one-on-one connection. I always enjoy much more. And I think it's easier to show like a passion and intensity with just one other person on camera. So that's generally what I opt for now.
Does the sort of and I'm not saying that consent and boundaries are not massively important, they are. I'm just talking from an emotional level. So does too much pre-planning mean that it becomes more perfunctory rather than pleasurable?
I would say, I mean, in a way, I think, but even just having a camera on you, unless you've got a kink for being filmed, I think it does take some of the pleasure out anyway. But I mean, I don't think it decreases anything for me having something planned out, because I find comfort in that, that stability of knowing, like. I mean, don't get me wrong. I used to love a one night stand. You didn't know what was going to happen, but I also love having something planned, and I just felt safe and comfortable. I think that's always got to be, my primary concern. Everyone's got to be feeling safe, comfortable, happy. I mean, I've been on shoots where I've been in a terrible mood because people have been absolute assholes, and I have given the worst performance ever. So that's something I never want to do again.
What are some things you've learned about women, in particular, through your porn work?
Ooh,
that maybe surprised you, or
surprised me. Do you know what? I don't think anything's really surprised me. I think I've always held women in incredibly high regard, so I've never been surprised at how much a woman can do, because I mean, and some of the things that my friends have done on shoots is incredible. But it's never surprised me. I don't think it's impressed me more than anything. Maybe that is one thing that surprised me, actually, because I knew that a lot of women creators, in particular performers, get a lot of hate and stuff like that, particularly from cis het men who don't understand why women are making more money than them and stuff like that. So I was surprised at the resilience of those people for putting up with that hate, because even getting one or two nasty comments on videos, it can ruin your day. It really can. But then when someone showed me the DM requests of death threats and telling them that they're going to contact their family and out them, and it astounds me, what people are capable of. But then seeing close friends of mine being able to put up with that and even fighting back and still doing the same thing every day, regardless of that, especially cam models as well. My God, some of the strongest women I know must be cam models, because they have people come in giving them hate live and they're just reacting to it at the time. And I just think I could never do that.
So when you say cam models, you mean women that perform, in front of a camera and they get live questions and people want them to pose or do things. They live stream it.
There's websites like Strip Chat, My Free Cams, stuff like that have cam shows. Then they can take them to private rooms and stuff if they pay more, and but it's all done live.
Wow, that's brave.
I know male creators also get some of this hate, as we're saying, but you're right. Like, I do see the comments more on female performers, so the resilience piece of it is huge. I could never do that.
Yeah, I think it's just a lifetime of training. Walking in the world as a woman, it's just what you know, unfortunately. You just.
Have you seen it change at all and get better, Peaches, along over the last sort of 5 years that you've been sort of within that type of industry and know people within it?
I think it's gotten worse, to be honest.
Really?
I really do. I think, with the rise of people like Andrew Tate and just everything becoming way more interactive. Even my comments when my TikToks go to the wrong people, you can now post pictures on TikTok.
Yes.
Comments. I get I get comments of, people like it's so unimaginative. That's what I hate the most about it. Like, at least write something witty. Come on, like
Clever.
roast
Right.
me
Be
properly.
original with your insults.
Yeah, exactly. But no, I think it's gotten worse. I think it's going to get worse because of the state, of how various countries are going.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep, the Americans, just throwing it out there right now.
You're not wrong.
Not the two Americans on the call, because they're amazing.
No, absolutely not.
So what's the biggest thing you learnt about you doing porn?
Well, first, it's not the biggest thing, but I've learned that having a curve in your penis is a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that. I was always really self-conscious of it, and it's one of the reasons why I was always so nervous having sex. But other than that, we are all, I think we as a collective, we are all more self-conscious than we have to be about our bodies. I I look back and I think I can't even believe I was that self-conscious, and porn showed me that I don't need to be, because and I'm gonna say this with a little asterisk, anyone can do it. Anyone can do it. The asterisk is for people who are in the right mindset can do it.
How were you taught to hate your body before porn?
Rejection. So I won't go too into it, but with a partner who wasn't like very sexual, and this is no fault of theirs. It's just because I got into my own head when they didn't want to have sex, that it was reflecting on me, on my body, on me as a person, basically. And years of that builds up, and you start to think bad things, and in the end I was looking at my body like I was Gollum, like it's but I was probably in better shape than I am now, because I was going to the gym 6 times a week, and all that stuff. And I think strongest thing can be a bad mindset sometimes when it comes to body dysmorphia.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Yeah.
And you would probably think that people would assume, because you're in the type of industry, that you wouldn't have any body shame, because you're perfectly willing to get your cock out and fuck somebody with camera and get pegged and whatever, that you would have none. But like, you just don't know, do you? It's completely the opposite sometimes.
Well, I stopped talking about that. When I first started, I was talking about body dysmorphia quite openly on my pages, but then I started getting comments of people saying, what are you talking about? You've got a gorgeous body, you're beautiful and stuff like that. And that actually was quite damaging, because I don't think many people are too clued in on how it really works. Even if someone's telling you that you're pretty, or you've got a lovely body, it goes in one ear and out the other, or it can go in and think, wait, no, that's a lie. They're all lying to me. So I just stopped saying it, but now I'm in a much better place, so I talk about it quite openly now.
And did you get that way just over time, or did you reach out for help or therapy or something? How have you come around?
Yeah, I went the private therapy route, because I didn't want to wait, 18 months for the NHS to get me someone. So I spent a couple of years doing psychoanalytical therapy, which was great. Went every couple of weeks after a while. Had a few intense weeks where I did a lot of crying, and then spent a lot of time talking about a situationship that was quite damaging, and then just ended things quite nicely with the therapist when she said, "Have you noticed we've just been kind of chatting today? We haven't actually talked about anything." I was like, "Oh, okay." She said, "Why don't you get in contact with me if it goes down the pan again?" And I was like, "Let's do that."
Amazing. That's so good.
And I encourage anyone, if you're going through a tough time, if you have the means, either get on the NHS waiting list, or if you have the funds, go private with it. Find out what you need.
Yeah. I'm a huge proponent of therapy. These guys, whether they like it or not, well, now they love it. We have Therapy Tuesday with me.
Lovely.
So I call them after my therapy session. I'm like, here are my revelations today. And they're like, if I don't have an appointment that week, Smudge is like, where's therapy Tuesday? I'm like, you could have your own.
It's like it's free. You don't have to pay for it
Like,
then,
go get
do
your own
I?
fucking therapy.
I know, we wait for our voice notes.
Go get your
from
own.
Kaza.
But yeah, I'm a huge proponent. It's just like, I mean, to have someone just sit there and listen to whatever you have to say without feeling like you're burdening them or you feel guilty, or even better, to have someone who is so skilled with different modalities to be able to reflect back to you in a way you can't yourself. It's incredibly powerful, and it really is life-changing. So everyone,
Yeah,
I think
true.
everyone should be in therapy, but that's just me. Like if I hear someone doesn't have a therapist, I'm like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah, I always used to see it, in American movies when I was younger. Characters would be in therapy, and over here,
All right.
back in the 90s and the noughties, you think therapy is that actually a thing in the UK? I don't know what's going on.
Peaches, can I ask how you went from the visual stuff, the visual content, the porn, to understanding that women love audio rather than visual? We don't not love visual, but we are programmed for the audio. How have you made that transition from the visual to the audio then?
It was one TikTok that I made. I replied to my friend Courtney Pose. She responded to one of my other videos saying, "Sorry, daddy, sorry, daddy." Do you remember that? Like turn
Oh,
on the
I may have watched that a couple of times. Just saying.
But it was yeah. So I responded to that, and I literally think I was in like a really awful pair of joggers, and I just said, "Yes, darling, what's wrong?" And I took a knee in front of the camera, and it blew up. I can't remember how many it got. I think it was like 2 million in a couple of weeks or something. And then every comment or every other comment was, "You've got such a good voice. You've got such a good voice." The Quinn comments hadn't started by then, because I think it was still taking off at that point. This was quite a few years ago now. But from there, I was like, right, I've got to do something about this. And then a year passed, I still hadn't done anything. And then people started talking about my voice more. I had people subscribing to my page asking for audio customs. So I thought, okay, this is the time to make it into something. Yeah.
And so is that what you offer on your well, Cameo was visual as well, but so people can request custom audios from you?
Yeah. I've got Cameo for my safer work ones. So if anyone wants like a pep talk or a birthday message, they can use that.
Okay.
If you want something a little bit more naughty, then I go via OF because most things are allowed on there. Yeah, I've got different rates for audio and video and stuff.
I see on so many of your social media posts, like people are tagging Quinn all the time. Like, you should be on Quinn, you should be on Quinn. Quinn,
All
check
the
out this
time.
guy all the time. And I know I typically see your responses like, I have a Patreon. And well, I'm sure you're familiar with Quinn. Is that something you've ever considered, or do you like doing just the Patreon thing?
I have considered it, yeah. I've considered Quinn, Dipsy, applied to Quinn a couple of times, just left it after I didn't hear anything, which is, totally fine. I'm sure they're inundated with white male voices, maybe. So, yeah, I never really went for any others. I know there's another like French-based company which is all run by women as well. I can't remember.
I think it's called Le Quinn. Sorry.
Oh,
Le Quinn.
I think what I'd like to understand from you, Peaches, is I understand like people were, oh my God, you've got such a nice voice, and you do, by the way. But were you aware that women get turned on by the audio, not just your voice, but by audios in general? Did you realise how big it was? Do you realise how important it is to women?
To be honest, no, I knew literature, yes, but not audio, because I used to go through bookshops all the time, secondhand ones, and see, shelves full of Mills and Boon. So I knew that was something. And the episode of Friends when Rachel gets embarrassed for having a book.
Where you going? The vicar won't be home for hours.
Joey,
Where did you learn that word?
Where do you think? Zelda?
You found my book?
Yeah, I did.
But no. Otherwise, I mean, maybe it's. I mean, it's after starting to do it, I can see it interwoven into so many things, like in TV, in film. Like the guys always have really deep voices, and all the love interests. Mr. Darcy being a top one there. He always has to have a little bit of a rumble to his voice, doesn't he? So yeah, I think it's embedded in everything, but I just had no idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think I don't even think some women had any idea, until semi-recently. I'm one of them. And, even hearing, like, I've seen some of your things where you're quoting from Akatar, and even things like that, I think was a big step for some women being like, I really, really like the way this person is speaking. It sounds amazing. They look amazing, but take that out of it. It sounds amazing. And I do not think that a lot of women really even knew either until kind of this stuff all kind of came to the forefront recently. Kaza and
Yeah,
Smudge.
I mean, well, I think when it started to the world kind of opened up here, not necessarily audio, but was the 50 Shades of Grey book.
Yeah.
I started to see, women in my life who I never would have thought as sexual beings because they were so repressed,
Yes.
talking about this book and just being like unbelievably blown away by it. And I thought, what the hell? And so I read the book and I'm like, oh, I see what's going on here. Okay. So all of the things we're not talking about, none of us are talking about, we're all enjoying, like, behind the closed doors. So that's kind of where that topic started to open up. And yeah, but I didn't know anything about, like, audio erotica. I thought, oh my God, there's this whole world out there of people. And that's how the three of us met, was through being listeners of Quinn and meeting in a creators community. And it's just been a whole different world of, like, the level of healing that is happening for women through audio erotica is incredible. It's just the conversations we have with women in these communities. They're discovering aspects of themselves they didn't even know existed, healing aspects they didn't know were broken. So it's great. It's sexy and fun work that you do, right? But I hope you also understand how impactful and powerful it is as well.
What's the most positive thing that has come? I guess you might say community might be the top of that, but besides community, what's the most positive thing to have come from discovering it?
Not feeling like I'm weird.
Yeah.
Really, genuinely, I'm 52 and I've never felt anything other than there's something wrong with me. There's something weird about me because of what I liked. And for the first time in my whole life, I don't feel weird anymore.
You met other people.
Quite emotional thinking about that, actually.
Much. Right. Well, I mean, because it is. If you think that your entire life, and then all of a sudden, it snaps, and you're like, I don't have to feel that way. It is super emotional. I'm similar, Smudge. I think for me, it's a little more. I was also repressed growing up and all that, but I think it's more truly. I'm 38, and just at 38 years old, just actually starting. I'm married, been with the same guy for like 18 years, but I'm 38, and I'm now discovering, like, things I really like that I never knew I liked before. Certain things that I never even thought about because I thought it would be weird, or people would look down on me or say, ooh, shame on you for that. And so kind of now finding things that I never knew I liked myself it's a whole new ball game. It really is.
But do you feel comfortable, like, sharing an example or two of something you did?
Yeah, sure. Of course. Again, like, I've been with the same guy since I was 19. I'm 38. So we've been together a really long time. Great. Always had a great sex life, but things I never knew I liked. Like, I discovered that I have I have a praise kink. I never, ever, ever cared about that shit, but I also never realized I was missing it or needing it during intimate times with my partner. And Quinn is the reason I discovered that, listening to certain audios and being able to be like, you know what? I need to change my communication with my partner, which I think that's the biggest part, is realizing something I want, but knowing hey, you know what? If you want something though, you have to talk to the other person about this or you're never going to get it.
Yeah.
So I think being able to have that, I don't want to say bravery, but having that bravery truly to just be like, hey, let's have a chat about things I think I want that I never knew before.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's massive how it deepens relationships because you're right, Jules. It like gives language to things that we were never allowed to express or just pushed down so much because it just was not okay. I too, like you, Peaches, was raised in a time in a household where sex was dirty, it was bad, you don't talk about it. You judge those who are sexual as they're just bad people. So it was just a really, really repressed thing. And so with Quinn and with audio erotica, to hear people just be so open and honest about their interests and their desires and like no shame about it for the most part of just like this is who I am, this is what I like, and for it to give language to help us communicate with the people in our lives, anyone that we're in an intimate relationship with or whatnot. It was I've been married to my wife for a long time as well, and I mean, she's always known I'm not like, well, I'm not 100% homosexual, so it's like somewhere in the middle, and she always knew that, but finding audio erotica, it came as a surprise to her that most of the creators I listen to are men. So she's a little bit like, And I'm like, well, I have this at home. This is the fantasy, right? But it allowed me to explore that aspect of my sexuality more because it hasn't been a part of my life for quite some time. And so, yeah, it just opens a ton of doors.
I mean, it sounds like, Peaches, you've been through some pretty extraordinary life affirming things and changing, and openness.
Well, I mean, the sexuality just opened. Like I just not quite suddenly, but yeah, it was almost scary at one point because I thought, am I just lying to myself to, try and open things up, or am I actually ready for it?
Of course.
But having a lot of people who are going through the same things around you is incredibly helpful. So I think I can definitely empathize with, how you all found audio to be this key really to unlock that door. Yeah, mine was probably the same thing, but with starting porn, I guess.
And have you found now that all the things that you're learning along the way you use in your, I'm not asking about your personal life and who you, whatever, doing what with, but have you learned some tips? Changing up your routine?
My routine. Right, done that. On to the next one. Yeah, I mean, it has informed, but I mean, initially, it just kind of gave me the confidence to I was doing the right things,
Yeah.
But it made me look back on some instances when I was younger, and I just used to go at it like I was an Energizer bunny. It was terrible, like really bad. But I guess everyone starts somewhere, don't they? And you kind of learn along the way. But yeah, when you're 17 and you don't know any better, Energizer bunny levels.
Yeah.
So just slow things down, people. But yeah, I think because I've kind of worked with so many people as well, it's quite good because you kind of adapt to what people like. And one thing that really kind of is almost like a deal breaker with working with people is if they don't want to kiss. Because I did that once or twice, and it kind of, my comfort levels went straight down, like not kissing. I think even though like it's work, there's still this kind of level of intimacy that you have to build.
Yeah.
And kissing is the number one thing for me to establish that. And obviously, if someone doesn't want to do it, I wouldn't do it because their comfort is number one. But because I discuss it with everyone before we work, are you okay with kissing? If they say no, I'm like, might not be the right people to work together then,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the famous thing in Pretty Woman, wasn't it? She'll do anything except kissing.
Yeah. Your persona, if you will, like on your social media and whatnot, is very gentle dom.
Very. Yes.
Which is my favorite. Is that a persona, or is that kind of how you would present yourself? Like, is that who you are, or is that like a role? Is it difficult for you to act like a gentle dom, or is that just your nature?
Oh yeah, it's generally that's my nature. I mean, I can put on other personas. I can be submissive. I could be harder. Um, but the most natural thing for me is that I think because my go-to with anyone I'm with is to go into kind of a worship state, and I love doing that from a like a gentle dominant place, almost like a service top. Yeah, it's that's my favorite thing to do with someone because they're the expressions, um the kind of the joy that you give someone, that's
Yeah.
like always my favorite thing.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get me wrong, I love receiving you know pleasure as well, obviously, but giving pleasure of all kinds is my favorite thing.
So good. You're so good at it.
Definitely, listeners, join Peach's Patreon if you want to hear what we're talking about, because accurate statements.
We're in there.
I didn't know.
Actually, Peaches, one of my favorite things about your Patreon is take all the sexy stuff out of it. I really love, and I've heard from other people, I love your safe for work things you put out. Like your anti-anxiety things you put out are just so grounding and quick. You know, they're not like a 30-minute thing. They're like, hey, we've got 10 minutes. Let's ground you for 10 minutes. And for what's going on in the world right now, like that piece of it is just absolutely phenomenal. Love that.
Thank you. That's really kind.
Peaches, what has been your favourite euphemism for a body part? Even if it's not quintessentially British, but what's the most, the favourite euphemism that you've had for a body part? And then we'll see what the Americans like.
I'm just coming up with horrible stuff. Like, have you ever heard of wizard sleeve?
Oh my God, the wizard sleeve.
Yes, isn't that Sacha Baron Cohen has a quote about that? I remember hearing.
I don't know why that came into my head straight away.
Oh my God!
I don't know that.
In case anybody doesn't know, the wizard sleeve was a term used for the vagina if it was rather large.
In like the last week, someone has reminded me of one which I used to think was so funny. Turtleneck.
For an uncircumcised penis.
Oh.
Someone in my DMs the other day was like, I really like that you're uncircumcised. It's like a little jumper.
Oh, that's too cute. I'm going to do that.
Oh no, it was always very, penis, vagina, breasts, vulva when I was younger. It was all very clinical.
I think that's good, actually.
I wish. I
agree.
It's like, I think that's better. I wish.
Yeah, it doesn't be such a
it's far better than kebab.
Or girly whirl.
Girly whirl, that's one that I've met. That is fantastic.
And peenie whip was for penis.
Peenie whip. The peenie whip is something that I used to do on Twitter occasionally. It was I used to call it Floppy Friday, and I just stand in front of the mirror and just go.
Flop, flop, flop.
Did you helicopter it? Did you?
I've done that once, and I tell you, it is difficult. The rhythm you have to have for that in the hips, like it's
I tried the old nipple tassels, getting them in different direction. I got them in the same direction, but trying to get them in a different direction, I got whiplash.
Oh, one clockwise, one anti.
Yeah.
Oh, geez, yeah.
Such an educational podcast. Yeah. I'm proud of us. So we know we're coming to the end of your time with us. So I wanted to get in some listener questions that have been submitted, if you wouldn't mind.
Yeah, of course.
Do a few of those. Okay, so the first one is, what's the most unexpected thing you've learned while creating content?
How much people enjoy it. I honestly, I maybe it's low expectations, imposter syndrome, but I had no idea that it would have the impact that it does, especially as previously mentioned, the safer work, the meditation, the mindfulness posts. I was just going to post them and think, maybe one or two people might listen, but they're normally the most commented on, the most appreciated, and I just I can't believe the engagement I'm still getting, and I'm so grateful for it. And I love that I can supply something that people enjoy, really. So that's been the most surprising thing.
So good. I mean, because women by nature are just such nurturers, right? So the safe for work audios are so loving and nurturing for us, which is not something that's terribly common. So thanks for those.
Well, I'm still going to make lots of them, so look forward to it.
Please do.
All right, I got another one for you. What do you wish your listeners understood about you?
They're all pretty understanding, to be honest. I think, I don't know, because I've been doing it quite a while now. I think people understand that I might go dark occasionally. You know, if I have hay fever or if I'm having an off week or whatever. Understanding about me. I really do love Star Wars that much.
Oh, Peaches, do we have a treat for you?
Oh, really?
Mudge, do you want to tell him your Star Wars story?
I may or may not have kissed Dave Prowse, but I did.
Your face.
Okay, well, I need to hear this then.
So I met him once at a Comic-Con many years ago, and then I frequented Comic-Cons because I'm a bit of a geek, and I met him loads of times, and we became sort of friends within the Comic-Con, sort of, you know, and he'd see me and go, "Hi, Smudge," you know, and then he'd grab hold of me because his hands were like the size of bunches of bananas. And on this one occasion, he like spotted me and he like waved me over, and then he grabbed hold of me, yanked me over a double table, and then planted a smackaroonie right on the old lips.
Wow. Oh, that's so
Yeah.
lovely.
And yes, he was just lovely. And I've been out for drinks and meals with unfortunately they're both passed away now, but Kenny Baker as well.
Wow, blimey.
Yeah, so you must have been to some Comic-Con surely and met them.
I've never been to any. I've never been to a con.
You never have?
I'm terrified.
Wow.
I'm terrified of them, honestly.
They're stressful.
Yeah.
I've only been to one. They're stressful. They are.
I would love to. I wouldn't ever say no, but yeah, I've never gone to a con, but I should. I really should. I need to get out and do
all right,
stuff.
No, you need to stay in and do more porn for me.
Yeah.
Oh, that too. I'll never not do that. I'll never not do that.
But anyway, I just digressed. What do you wish people understood about sex workers and they just don't?
We work a lot harder and longer than most people probably imagine. On any given video that I'm making, it could take up to maybe 3 or 4 hours to make a collaborative video. It could take upwards of I don't know, maybe about 2 or 3 hours to edit. If it's got 3 angles, it'll take maybe 4 or 5 hours. And then there's also making the promo for it, so that adds another hour or 2. On top of that, you are posting on social media every day. Yeah, I think it's just the amount of time and work that goes into it, really.
Yeah.
Editing. Oh, and how much money everything is spent on as well. Like,
yeah.
If I'm working with other people, one particular trip, you got to pay for all the accommodation. You've already got, your equipment you've got to pay for. I looked at my expenses last year, and I could not believe how much I had spent on gear. It's just mad.
Jesus. And that lightsaber dildo must have cost something.
Well, pretty penny, I think.
Can you imagine your accountant when he does your taxes? Like,
I've had my accountant for 5 years, and like, she doesn't bat an eyelid, I'll tell you.
I love it. Gold. Hang on to that one.
75 gallons of lube.
Yeah.
Okay, then that's fine.
All right. So our final question, which we'd like to wrap with, is how would you define sexual freedom?
God, that's a tough one.
Make that noise some more while you think. That's your thinking noise. We're here for it.
People love a little low hum, don't they?
Yes, very much.
I mean, my favorite is starting off a video as though I'm imagining someone standing in front of me, and I just go, and then there's a little slow breath afterwards as well. That's my favorite one to start off with.
Mine too.
Me
too.
Does anybody have a towel?
I do. There's my towel box. Right
It's a bit far away from me, Peaches.
So I would say sexual freedom is different for everyone, obviously. For me, it is just not feeling shame. Being able to even think about something which makes me feel, sexually charged, and not feeling ashamed, because that used to be the case for absolutely everything for me. And it's I don't think I've felt that for months and months, which is wonderful. And we all go down rabbit holes when we're looking at porn, and when you don't feel that shame, I think that's been the most freeing thing for me. Being able to talk about sex in every single way with friends is so lovely, and we're not shaming anything, like, because I see kink shaming all the time, as we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
And I can talk with my friends, and they say, oh, I'm just about to make a piss video. I'm like, oh, right, okay, have a good time. And there's nothing there. It's just, it's just fine. I didn't think that was possible. I always thought I'd just be, hood up with my kinks, and I wouldn't be as open as I am now. And yeah, it's like one of those things. What would you say to your younger self if you could?
Yeah.
Yeah, just don't be scared about talking about sex and exploring it.
Mm-hmm.
Live your truth as early as you can, because you're a long time dead and you want to fill in every year with whatever you want to do it with.
Exactly.
It's like its own version of coming out, right? Like, no one, I come from a large family. One of my sisters even knows I do this podcast. None, like, the idea of telling the rest of my family would feel like coming out all over again. I will at some point, because I'm a fucking grown woman. I can do what I want. But being raised the way we were, it's like, it does feel like back in the day when I had to come out, when it's scary to think how you're going to be judged. But to your point, Peaches, it's like the more confident you are in your own desires and interests, then the less it matters what other people think.
Like, just a yes, no. Has this brought you more confidence?
100%.
Listening to these things.
100,000%.
All fucking day long.
It just makes it okay. Like, it just, like Smudge said before, it normalizes things. Like, oh, okay. So yeah, I feel much more confident in my sexuality, in my desires. Yeah, so much more. It's incredible what it does.
I no longer think I'm weird.
Same though. I just feel how I want to feel, and I'm not embarrassed about it. If I want to post something, again, I know everyone's different, depends on your job. Just everyone listening, I understand all of that. I'm just in a place where I don't need to do all of that right now. But being able to post something that I think is sexy, or I think other women or anybody is going to enjoy, and like not care what people are going to say about it, is such a freeing feeling that up till about 8-9 months ago, I never had before.
Yeah.
Nice.
I mean, there's been whole evenings that, I mean, you've just, infiltrated my evening and made it so much better. Thank you.
Oh, that's lovely.
It was nice to do all the research for this episode. I'm like, oh, like literally last time my wife was like, "You want to watch something?" I'm like, Peaches research. She's like, "You've been doing that for days." I'm like, "He's got a lot of content."
Yeah, same.
We have to do
So
these
much.
guests justice, and it takes a long time.
Well, I mean, ultimately she benefits. I'm like, you're gonna be glad I did this stuff.
I do have one more question. I did wonder if you had either a really cool, fun, or what one of your most interesting requests for a video from somebody was.
Don't tell them mine.
I love the customs that I get that require a bit of creativity on my end. So I'll talk about two, and
Okay.
this is in a very positive light, by the way. It's just that they're a little bit different, and they're not your normal kind of kinks. So
Yeah.
the first one, someone asks me to transition from a man into a werewolf.
Oh.
And it's all very planned out. There's like scripts for like minute or 2 minute bursts, and I have to say certain buzzwords. I don't actually I don't put on any fur gloves or anything like that. But they talk about like the angles. So like at one point I'll have like my feet up like this, and they'll stretch out towards the camera. So it's like the feet are growing kind of thing. And yeah, because you have to pretend that it's moonlight, and usually I film during the day, so you kind of have to play around with lighting, and then you have to edit everything so it's exactly the timing they need. And yeah, I love doing stuff like that. Absolutely.
Like Peaches Spielberg,
right?
Well, that was one of my big goals a while back, was to start my own video company. And I started a little operation doing like a POV thing, like Peaches POV, strapped to my chest, but didn't really take off. But my other one, which I think is possibly my favorite of all time. So I had to do two of these. They said, "Can you please be a superhero?" So I've got like a black compression top, and I've got. Do you remember those old TikTok leggings that went viral?
Oh, the ones that go up, you scrunch your butt.
That's scrunch your
Yeah.
butt.
Those ones.
Yeah.
So I got some red ones of them, and then I put on some long black socks over them, so they looked like little boots. Like it was a pretty good outfit. And they wanted me to pretend to be fighting an invisible man,
Oh.
just fighting, and then eventually lose. So I, get knocked out, and but I was like playing around with physical effects, speeding it up, like when I changed out my normal clothes. So I span around in a circle and like sped it up. I had these points where I was like pretending like my leg was being dragged off by someone like up the stairs, and used my entire house to film this as well.
Wow.
Yeah, and it wasn't. That was when I was charging the least for my custom. I think I must have only charged about $60 for that.
Oh my
Wow.
God.
So much effort, too.
Jesus Christ.
No.
Wow.
But it's still one of my favorite ones that I've ever done. So much fun.
My God, I just want to see it.
Well,
right?
don't worry, Kaza, Smudge. I know my Christmas present I want from you both, so we're good. We're good.
Yeah. And also giving someone that, because it's such a niche kink as well, and giving someone something that they've been craving that they might not have been able to get from someone for a very long time is just, I love doing it.
They must have been so thrilled with it
Yeah.
when they finally got it.
Do you know what? Actually, not a word
No.
from either of them. They like it's funny. The more specific customs I get, I don't usually get feedback. And since my audience has gone like, it used to be like 90% men, it's now like 90% women. It's I've had so much more communication since then. People telling me what's good, what they liked about it, what I could maybe add to things, with consent, obviously.
Yep.
But it's funny. I think men tend to just like afterwards. Maybe it's the post wank shame. I don't know.
or maybe they're still wanking and they got dehydrated. And,
I'm gonna get a message in a minute.
Yeah.
If you're out there, if you're one of our clittertons, I mean, the odds are rare that of it happening. But if you are any one of either the werewolf or the superhero kink amazing humans out there, please send him some feedback.
Right.
Yeah. Was it good? I'd like to do another one. Let me know.
Yeah.
Well, you are going to be doing another one because it's Jules' birthday soon.
Christmas is coming.
Christmas is coming.
Thank you, Peaches, so much for your time and for coming on and chatting with us.
So fun, truly.
Oh,
really
it's been an absolute delight. Thank you.
Please come back anytime.
Absolutely.
Well.
I mean, I already knew why people were like begging for us to have him on. Now I really get it.
He is adorable as well, by the way.
Oh, so adorable.
He's so handsome.
So sweet.
Yeah, he was lovely, and such good conversations about the industry.
It was really cool. It was really cool to learn about the porn industry from an insider.
I love
and
it.
also to have a conversation with somebody who knows who Sticky Vicky is.
Oh, I now know who Sticky Vicky is, and I'm fascinated, and I will be Googling Sticky Vicky.
Hashtag Sticky Vicky.
So yes, Peaches has left the building, and onwards to the next one, ladies. Onwards to the next one.
Thanks everybody for listening to Quincast Hit the Spotlight with Peaches. We're so glad to have you listening. As always, please comment, rate, share, all the things. And for future guests, we're going to be announcing some future guests coming up, and we want listener questions. We have a special treat that we're going to hold for now about the listener question submissions, but just keep your eyes peeled with our future guests. For now, this has been Kaza. Your voice matters.
This has been Jules. Go put those lips to good use.
And this has been Smudge. Keep wanking.